So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs in a very short span of time within 30 minutes so that you get to cover your current affairs on a daily basis, but you don't have to spend your entire day just reading the newspaper. Okay? You need some other time also. You need your rest of the day for covering other parts of your UPSC syllabus. So, we will quickly finish that day's current affairs, today's current affairs, within 30 minutes. Now, just watching this lecture would be job half done because just after watching it, you need to revise it as well. Why? Well, revision helps in consolidating these current affairs in your memory. Otherwise, you'll quickly forget them. Now, you can revise these current affairs from the notes provided by us, and these notes are available on our Telegram platform. Now, where can you find our Telegram platform? Well, just below this lecture in the comment section, you'll find a link. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture and do the necessary revision. All right, let's begin today's discussion. But first, let's take a look at the list of topics that we will cover today. Okay, so here's the list. Topic number is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology launches AI Kosha. Now, this AI Kosha will really advance research and innovation with respect to AI in India. How? Well, that's what we are going to talk about. Okay. Then, Gender Equality Report by UN Women. Okay. So, United Nations Women. UN Women is an organization under UN and they have released Gender Equality Report. And in that Gender Equality Report, they have given us some really bad news when it comes to gender equality. Though that report contains some positive news as well, but most of the report highlights a negative aspect of gender equality. Okay, so we'll talk about this. Then recently, Supreme Court has reprimanded Uttarakhand government with respect to misuse of funds under Compensatory Afforestation Fund. So what is this CAMPA fund? We'll talk about this. Then in the end, we'll talk about autonomous district councils. Why? Because Assam government has, or Assam Legislative Assembly has passed certain amendments with respect to the law that regulates autonomous district council, and fifth Lineman Diwas by Central Electricity Authority. So these are the 5 topics that we'll focus our attention on. Let's discuss them one by one, starting with topic number 1, which is MeitY, or Ministry of Electronics and IT, launches AI Kosha. Now, as you know, last year, Government of India launched India AI Mission. Okay, this is a big mission, around 10,000 crore mission launched by Government of India to advance AI development in our country. Now, India AI Mission focuses on producing graphics processing unit or AI chips. Okay, it also focuses on developing AI models, and it also focuses on basically providing the necessary environment for research and innovation in AI. Okay. Now, to fulfill that promise under AI mission, India AI Mission, MeitY has launched AI Kosha. Okay, to democratize AI access, enhance AI competence in governance, and support AI startups and research. Clear? Now, AI Kosha, along with India AI Compute Portal and other initiatives, were launched on India AI's anniversary. So last year, India AI was launched on March 6th. On its first anniversary, these missions or these schemes were launched by MeitY. Now, how would AI Kosha democratize AI access, enhance AI competence in governance, and support AI startups? Okay. The thing is that AI basically, AI models. Okay. So AI models basically are trained on data. So if you want to create an AI model, you need data also to train it on. Now, data is not that easily available, okay, because there are strong data privacy laws in our country, so it's not that easily accessible. So what government has done is, as far as all the public government data is concerned, government has created data sets, okay, and all these government data sets have been provided under AI Kosha. Okay, so AI Kosha contains all these publicly available data sets on which you can train your AI models. Plus, it also has created an environment where a normal AI developer can go. it has tools. AI Kosha has some tools which that AI developer can use, can train his AI model on these data sets and create a new AI application. So all of this is publicly available. Anyone can go on this AI Kosha, create an AI model, rough AI model, and train it on the publicly available data sets. Now, this would really democratize AI access because now data would be available, some data tools would be available, and all these data tools would be available in a suitable environment where you can develop these AI applications. This is what AI Kosha is. Okay. So about AI Kosha, it is a central repository of data sets, AI models, and AI tools for research and innovation. It contains around 316 data sets, mostly government data sets, okay, along with AI models and integrated development environment. You see, you require a software environment where you can develop AI tools, okay. So this software environment called integrated development environment or AI sandbox, it is called, the environment is called AI sandbox, will be provided on AI Kosha. So you just have to go there, okay. You don't have to buy another software, just go there and develop your AI tools. India AI Dataset Platform is one of the 7 key pillars of India AI mission. As I've told you, India AI mission was launched last year. It is a 10,000 crore mission, okay? And it had 7 pillars. One such pillar was to provide data sets for AI innovation. And this has been provided through AI Kosha. All right. Now, what are the benefits of this AI Kosha? Well, like I said, democratization of AI development. Then, promotion of ethical AI development. Okay. You see, AI models are trained on data sets. Now, if these data sets are sourced from unethical sources, or if these data sets are sourced without taking care of data privacy, without taking the consent of the data generator, data principal, then that would be unethical usage of AI. So through AI Kosha, government is trying to promote ethical AI development because all these data sets are generated from ethical source, government sources. These data sets are publicly available and all the required consents have been taken. Okay, no data privacy would be breached. Plus, not just startups, even government can use this AI Kosha to create AI tools for governance, healthcare, and education. Okay, so these are the benefits. But the article in the Hindu newspaper and the Indian Express newspaper also mentioned that AI won't do won't do basically AI Kosha won't be enough. Okay, just it's a good beginning, but just AI Kosha won't be enough. Why? Because these initial data sets, the 316 data sets, are sourced from government and research institutions. So not enough data is available to create a very powerful AI model like ChatGPT and all. So you need to gather many more data sets as well. So this is something that you need to do so that a quality AI application comes out of it. So AI Kosha should be enhanced basically with more data sets. All right. That's all. That's all you need to know. Okay. Now let's move on to our second news item, which is Gender Equality Report by United Nations. So United Nations has an organ called UN Women, which talks about gender equality, global gender equality. Now the thing is that there was a conference, okay, women's conference in 1995, and that was held in Beijing. It was attended by 189 countries. And the outcome of this conference was Beijing Declaration. This Beijing Declaration basically allowed all these 189 countries to cooperate and achieve gender equality. Now, 30 years have passed since the adoption of Beijing Declaration, but gender equality is still far away from achieving its target. Okay, and this has been highlighted by the report produced by UN Women. In fact, gender discrimination still remains deep, and Women says that a woman or a girl is killed every 10 minutes by a partner or family member. All over the world, in every 10 minutes, a female dies and she is basically murdered by, by her partner or family member. This is far from being over. The targets are still far away. Okay. Now, let's talk a bit about Beijing Declaration first and then talk about what were what were the key findings of this report? Okay. So about Beijing Declaration. So Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, adopted at the Fourth World Conference on Women in 1995, is a landmark document outlining global agenda for achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls, focusing on 12 critical areas of concern. So Beijing Declaration outlined 12 areas where countries need to work. Now, this declaration was adopted unanimously by all the participating countries. And these 12 critical areas include combating poverty among women, gender based violence, putting women at the top level in business, government, and at peacemaking tables. It also highlighted that not many females are basically board of directors of top companies. Not many females are lawmakers in many countries. Okay, not many countries have had female presidents or prime ministers. So all these are areas where Beijing Declaration compels these 189 countries to work on. Now 30 years have passed, okay? And after 30 years, UN Women says that not much has been achieved. Now UN Women released this report on the eve of International Women's Day, which is celebrated every year on 8th March. So remember this, okay? Now, what were the key findings of this report? So, the report includes contributions or survey from 159 countries. It was released ahead of International Women's Day on March 8th. It reported that in cases of conflict, wherever there is a war-like situation or a civil war-like situation, sexual violence has increased by 50% since 2022. Okay, 25% of the countries reported that backlash on gender equality is hampering implementation of Beijing Declaration. What these 25 countries have reported is that whenever they try to bring in laws in their respective countries with respect to gender equality, well, the people rebel. And that is why they are unable to implement what was decided upon during Beijing Declaration. Okay. And there were many more key findings that talked about very bad situation when it comes to gender equality. But this report was not entirely negative. It had some positive news items as well. Okay. For example, 88% of the countries have passed laws to combat gender violence. So there are gender violence laws in 88% of the countries. 44% are improving quality of education and training for women, and many more positive news were there. But the general tone of the report was negative. Okay. Now, what solutions have been proposed by UN Women report? Okay. First of all, they say that digital revolution should take place to provide equal access to technology for women. So, women should be given equal access to technology as compared to men. Investments in social protection schemes like healthcare and education for women, zero tolerance for violence against women, equal decision making power, whether it comes to business, politics, everywhere, household also. And UN Women has found that wherever there is a conflict like situation, wherever there is civil war or a normal war, most of the times women are at the receiving end of violence. Why? Because a lot of sexual violence is committed against them. Some women are held captive, they are made sexual slaves and whatnot. So humanitarian aid given to regions who are suffering from civil war or conflict like situation should also contain a gender component. Okay, because women are disproportionately affected by these wars. Clear? So this is what UN Women reported. All right. Now let's move forward to third news item, which is compensatory afforestation. First, let's take a look at what was in the news, and then we'll talk about what CAMPA is, apart from the beverage that we know. Okay. So, Supreme Court took exception to the alleged misuse of Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority (CAMPA) funds by Uttarakhand government. Okay. According to the report by CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, CAMPA funds were being misused by Uttarakhand government. The employees of this CAMPA fund in Uttarakhand were using this money to buy iPhones, laptops, whereas this money should have been used for afforestation, for planting more trees, wildlife conservation. So this misuse has been flagged, and Supreme Court has basically reprimanded Uttarakhand government. Now the thing is, what is CAMPA? Okay, look. The thing is that in our country there are many public projects. For example, you have to build a dam, you have to build a highway, you have to build other infrastructure projects. For that, sometimes you have to divert some forest land. Okay, to build a hydroelectric dam, you need some forest land. Okay, and you have to cut forest from there. Now that leads to loss of forest area in our country. So what the government has done is, government says that any private company which is diverting forest land for infrastructure construction or any other public project, well, has to generate equal, if not more, trees in some other area, or have to plant equal or enough trees in some other area. Basically, they have to undertake afforestation in some other area so as to compensate for the destruction of forest for their public project. Now, private companies can't do that alone. So what private companies do is they give money to the government. Okay. And government uses that money for afforestation. Now, all that money is deposited in CAMPA fund. Okay. Compensatory Afforestation Fund. And then, well, this money from this fund is used for afforestation and environmental protection. Now you know this background. Now let's talk about CAMPA. So all the money that is accumulated in this fund has to be used, or the authority that will govern the usage of this fund is called Compensatory Afforestation Management and Protection Authority, CAMPA. Okay, and it is a statutory authority established under Compensatory Afforestation Fund 2016. Clear? Now this authority will decide how this fund would be managed and utilized for afforestation. Now, this Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act 2016 basically says that there will be two authorities and two funds. Okay, one at central level. So there will be a compensatory fund established at the central level and compensatory fund at the state level. Okay, the compensatory fund at central level will be managed by national CAMPA, and at state level would be managed by state CAMPA. These funds would be established under Public Account of India. Okay, so national CAMPA will decide how national compensatory fund is being managed. State CAMPA would decide how state compensatory fund is being managed. And the recent judgment by Supreme Court is about Uttarakhand state CAMPA, because they are saying that you are misusing the state fund. Okay, so this act establishes two funds, one at national and the other at state level. Now all the money given by private authorities for diverting forest land, 10% of that would go to national compensatory fund and 90% would go to state funds. Clear? Now, what are the functions and other facts about CAMPA? Okay, so CAMPA ensures that funds collected from user agencies for compensatory afforestation are released and utilized quickly, efficiently, transparently. Okay, the establishment of CAMPA was ordered by Supreme Court of India in 2001, and then in 2016 government created a law. How is the fund used? The funds are primarily used for afforestation, regeneration of forest ecosystem, wildlife protection, infrastructure development. Now, how is this fund being used? Regular audits would be conducted and a report would be published by CAG. So CAG would conduct an audit, check whether you're using money in these funds legally, ethically, and whatnot. Okay, and CAG will present its report. So in this report by CAG, it was found that Uttarakhand CAMPA authorities or their members were misusing these funds. Okay, and that's why Supreme Court has taken cognizance of this allegation. Clear? Now you know what CAMPA is? Okay. Now let's move forward to autonomous district councils. Look, the thing is that in our northeastern states, there are many tribes who have been given scheduled tribe status. Okay. Now these tribes say that we have our own tribal culture, we have our own tribal customs, and sometimes these tribal cultural practices and tribal customs are in conflict with, well, state law, central law, Indian law, or Indian governance structures. Okay, so we are not ready to come or be assimilated into India, because we have our own tribal customs and practices. So to accommodate these practices, okay, Constitution of India in its sixth schedule allowed for establishment of autonomous district councils. There are some districts where these STs, tribals, are in majority, okay, and they consider this area to be their own land. So these districts are declared as autonomous district councils, okay. Now, in these autonomous districts, an elected body will be made called autonomous district councils, okay, and these autonomous district councils would have local tribal members who will fight elections and become members of autonomous district councils. These councils will be given some powers, okay, to regulate their own affairs, okay. So within this autonomous district councils would be given some powers so as to basically administer this region as per tribal custom and law. So they have been given some autonomy over their own land. Clear? That is how autonomous district councils function. Now, sixth schedule says that these autonomous district councils shall be established in the state of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. Okay, though there are autonomous district councils elsewhere also, but sixth schedule talks about these four states only. Now, as far as Assam is concerned, Assam has three autonomous district councils: Bodoland, Karbi Anglong, and North Kachar Hills or Kachar Hills. Okay. Now, recently it was found that these autonomous district councils have to hold elections after every 5 years. But it was found that they were not holding elections and they continued. So this is considered illegal. So Assam Assembly has passed an amendment and said that if these councils are unable to hold elections after 5 years, when their term expires, then the entire autonomous district council would be taken away from their rule and given to the governor. The governor would take over these autonomous district councils. Okay, these amendments have been passed. Clear? As you can see in this news, Assam Assembly passed amendment bills related to 7 autonomous councils authorizing governor to take over these bodies if holding of elections is found to be impractical even at the end of mandated extended term of elected committees. Look, as per Assam government, there is a provision of extension of tenure of these autonomous district councils by 1 year. But after that, you have to hold elections, and if you don't, then governor will take over. Now, this news is not that important for you. What is important is, what are these autonomous district councils? Now, partially I have explained this to you, but let's go a little deeper. Let's try to understand the constitutional provisions with respect to ADCs. So these are self-governing bodies established as per 6th schedule of the Constitution to provide a form of autonomy to tribal districts of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. The councils will have elected members whose term would be 5 years and some nominated members who shall be nominated by the governor. Okay. These ADCs have some legislative, executive, judicial powers to allow them to honor their tribal culture and customs in their respective regions. Now, what are those legislative, executive, judicial powers? Well, they can make laws on land, forest, water resources, agriculture, public health, sanitation, social custom. They can administer village councils, traditional chiefs, tribal laws. Okay. And plus, if there is a conflict between two tribes or two clans in a tribe, then they can establish tribal courts to handle those disputes as well. To run their functions smoothly, they have been given some financial powers. They can levy some taxes, fees, and tolls, but majorly they are dependent upon grants from state governments. Now remember, the Constitution gives full authority to the governor to establish, reorganize these autonomous district councils. It is up to the governor whether to establish this or not, and a governor can increase or decrease the boundary of these councils as well. Okay, these autonomous districts as well. Full authority has been given to the governor. Clear? That's all you need to know. Okay. By the way, in your notes, you'll also find a special section in which I have mentioned that which state has how many district councils. Okay, so go through that as well. And now we come to the last topic of the day, which is fifth Lineman Diwas by Central Electricity Authority. You know who linemen are? Well, linemen are the frontal workers, the ground workers for electricity departments in India. Okay, these are the people who are on ground. checking whether all the electricity grids are functioning properly and all that. Okay. So to honor their contribution, well, since 2021, every year, Central Electricity Authority, in collaboration with Tata Power Delhi Distribution Limited, they organize this Lineman Diwas. Okay, Lineman Diwas from 2021 onwards. So this has been the fifth Lineman Diwas to honor their contribution. Okay, it is celebrated 4th March every year. Clear? Now, the day is celebrated in order to recognize the invaluable contribution of linemen and ground maintenance staff, the backbone of India's power sector. The theme for this fifth edition was Seva Suraksha Swabhiman. That means service, security, and pride, basically. Okay. Now, about Central Electricity Authority. So, it is a statutory authority established under Electricity Act, functions under Ministry of Power. It has one chairperson and several members. Members have a technical background or regulatory background, legal background. Okay. What are the functions of CEC? CEA? Advise the government on electricity policy, technical standards, power sector planning, development, and regulation. Okay. So that's all. That's all you need to know as far as this topic is concerned. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But it would add more value if you revise this lecture as well. Revision is really important if you want to remember these current affairs for long. Okay. So please do spend the necessary 10 to 20 minutes revising this lecture. Okay. And on that note, I'll be signing. Thank you so much, everyone.